So here we are with our beautiful 2005 Envoy XUV. Let's turn this thing into a pimped out gambler cruiser. So some of my things I want to do this thing is lift kit, which should be in, I think, tomorrow. So that's going to give me a 2.5-inch lift in the front, 2.5 in the rear. Also, we have to make it sound like a race car, so we're going to be chopping the exhaust off with eventual hopes of doing a hood exit. So that would require removing some of the AC components to be able to route that pipe up and out. But as we start, let's actually chop the exhaust off and do a quick comparison of before versus after and hear what it sounds like. So I'm gonna go fire this thing up and see how she sounds. It's been probably about 2 weeks since I've started this. That's all she's got exhaust wise. Should be a pretty easy series of cuts. So we got that bad boy right back there. And then as you can see under here, just kind of have the muffler just chilling. And then even more. So it's really surprising. This thing does not have that much ground clearance for being an SUV. But that lift kit will definitely help it out. So let's get the Sawzall out and let's start cutting. Exhaust is out. Let's fire it up, see how it sounds. So with just that cut, definitely makes it sound a lot louder, obviously. So I'm gonna let those other bolts that are up further towards the manifold soak for a little bit. Might try to get those out another day depending, but let's remove some of the AC components and try to make room for that hood exit. Took a bunch of other components off that didn't need to be on there. Bumper, stuff like that. I'm gonna probably cut these front crash bars probably right about here. So that'll give me a way better approach angle on the front. Probably also cut these inner fender well flares probably about right here too, just so I can take something on that's pretty serious. Again, these things aren't really a crazy off-roader. You just don't have the ground clearance, but with that lift kit, 2.5 inches, that should definitely give it a little more of a fighting chance. So let's get the Sawzall out and let's keep cutting. All right, so we're gonna cut the front corners of the bumper off. This is gonna give me a little bit crazier of an approach angle, and I think it'll make it look a little cooler. Let's get right into it. So I'm trying out these, I don't normally do this, but these China Sawzall blades. So very curious to see how these work. I removed that factory cellular antenna that was up in there. So now we're gonna plop our fog lights in, not fog lights, our off-road lights. It's gonna be mounted up here. I'm gonna use some RTV or something just to seal everything up. But this should provide a good amount of light, you know, once they're aimed forward and properly put in there. So I'm gonna start to drill this, get these bolts in place, and then do the same on the other side. What up, y'all? So it's been about a month since I've done anything to the Envoy. So today we're gonna get to throwing in this lift kit. Hopefully it's not too bad. So I'm gonna maneuver this thing, put it on ramps, then jack stands, and let's get these front two wheels off and install these shock spacers. So this thing's been sitting, so let's see if it crank up. It's gonna be loud. Oh yeah. Oh, we're ready to gamble. Wipers are on per usual, and this thing's in the off position, so yeah, we're ready. We're very much in the air here, so I'm gonna get those wheels off, and hopefully all that PV blaster that I let those bolts soak in will actually do some work. So to get this lift kit in, we gotta take off this one right there, one right there, one right there, and then 3 on the top, and then it should be as simple as that. So you want to apparently swap and then flip your upper control arms to be able to minimize adding any more angle onto that upper ball joint. Oh yeah, that's better. After letting these soak for a while, definitely helped loosen them up, which is great. So this control arm is out. That was definitely the easiest on the passenger side. Then going around to the driver's side, that was more of a challenge. There wasn't enough clearance on either side, so you can see I cut out a chunk right there, and I cut out a little window right there to be able to get that bolt out. So now what we got to do is take off the strut bolts that mount the top of the strut assembly on both sides, and then we should be able to inspect and get ready to put that lift spacer in. So this is what the spacers look like. So these go through the holes in the strut tower, and then you mount your original strut bolts into there. So shouldn't be too terrible. I know some people mentioned you have to take off the sway bar to do this, but we're gonna try to do it without it. Worst case, you might pull this one as well, just to get a little extra clearance. Made a quick executive decision to cut the sway bar lengths just to give me a little extra room. I mean, if I ever want to do this thing again and want to add sway bar links, I can, but I don't expect to. So I'm gonna try to push that shock down to see how much extra room I need. One thing I did notice, this third spoke doesn't line up perfectly, so I'm just gonna use a hammer and I'm just gonna pop that one out. We're just gonna run 2, which is what the factory shocks did. Hopefully it should be okay. A little bit of a learning moment here. So you do have to take these out to install the spacers. So you get the shock all happy in there. Take this bottom piece out. So this actually required a torch and a good amount of hammering, but it eventually came loose. So now I'm able to put this on the bottom and then slip this whole thing onto that bolt. So I'll end up, that one on the left side, I'll end up loosening that up, so that'll allow this thing with the shock to swing and pivot off that right one and complete this side. All right, driver's side is complete. That was quite a pain. I ended up using a C-clamp to push that lower shock fork onto that bolt and peg thing. I'll show you guys. Yeah, so I couldn't quite get this all the way over on the other side, so I used a C-clamp and ended up pinching that onto it enough, kind of put the bolt on a little bit by hand, and then hit it with the impact, and yeah, it all went back together. So now for this side, now that I kind of figured out how this is done, hopefully this will go a little bit easier. And yeah, I was surprised I mean, there's barely enough clearance to get that thing together. At least how I did it. There's probably some way where you can drop the front control arms and do it, but she's in. So let's get to the driver's side now. Well, here it is with the front part of the lift kit put in. So let's get it off the ramps and check it out. Oh yeah, it definitely feels a little more level. Oh yeah. I mean, it's not much, but I mean, dang, that really makes this thing look a lot less brake forward. All right, so we're legal, we're lifted. That front sway bar, this thing is floaty. That's gonna be great. Probably increase the rollover risk by a fair margin. Wow, this thing is so loud. I definitely think cutting this sway bar was a mistake, but so the only way to, I guess, avoid that would have been either getting those links out or removing the oil filter, which is interesting that the sway bar, if it's bottomed all the way out, actually will touch the bottom of the oil filter. So now it's time to yeah, get this thing dressed up as our official Gambler 2026 theme. So I'll see you guys in a little bit.